When I chose to forgive, I gave death to an old version of myself. The one that was always in shame, that was always consumed by guilt, by remorse, by distrust, by hurt, by pain. The one that kept neglecting herself, neglecting her needs. And I chose to live. I chose to live because although the people surrounding me didn't see the value in me, and the situations around me, the circumstances were not the best, I still wanted to live. I wanted to have a life with abundance, with joy, without fear of everything and anything and anyone. I wanted more out of life. And because I had not experienced many things in my life um, prior to my healing, most of my experiences were not so great, to say the least. You know, I want to experience other things. I want to have good relationships. I want to travel to places. I want to do different things. I want it more, and I want more. And even though the people that I wanted to support me were not willing, were not there, or are at a different space right now, you know, I couldn't and I didn't want to. I couldn't and I didn't want to keep holding myself back to make space for them. And when I chose to be selfish with me, right, with taking care of me, with doing the healing work for me, with caring about me. So when I chose to forgive, I chose to care about me. And before, we could say that I care, like the normal things, like, you know, you go to work, you take care of the house, you take care of the children, you provide for them type of scenario. That wasn't living for me. I didn't have that 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 feeling inside of like I want to do more. I was consumed by other things that didn't allow me to focus on myself, and I wasn't putting in the work and the time to focus on me. So I decided to remove everything that distracted me from myself and to look at myself. And when we do that, that is hard. It's not easy to go back and look at ourselves raw and still say, you know, I got you. We're going to do this. We can do this. We will do this. And I knew that God was with me. And He saw something I didn't see. And so I kept working on it, and I keep working on it because the rewards of it are undescribable. And it's not about having a badge of like I've forgiven. No, it's something deeper that gives you calmness and stillness inside. And I could walk with my head held high. And you know, sometimes we find ourselves at a place of no return, just doing things that are destroying ourselves little by little, just chipping at it. And we don't have the clarity to see what we're actually doing and how the things that we're holding onto are affecting us at a deeper level. And so when I decided to dig and bring it all out and deal with it and address it and address each individual and each situation for what it was without putting a blindfold on my face because of whatever titles there are in society of, you know, the mother, the father, the aunt, the sister, the brother, friend, cousin, all of that stuff, you know. I was able to release myself. I was like in a cage and I didn't know I was in a cage. And then I decided to take the blindfolds off. And then I'm like, you know, I could walk the hell out of here. Like, nobody's keeping me trapped in this cage. I'm doing it to myself. So that's how I feel about forgiveness. I feel like when we don't forgive, we're like trapped in a cage that we don't see. And we're in there with blindfolds on, so it's even harder to not to see because we have blindfolds on and then we're in a cage that we created for ourselves. But when we choose to be strong and address it head on and take the blindfolds off and do the work, it's very rewarding at the end because you get something that you can't buy. You get peace from within. You find joy again. You want to live. And no matter what we've done, and no matter what has been done to us, we can choose something different for ourselves. Because our birthright is peace and abundance. That is our birthright. At least that's what God wants for us, to have peace, to have joy, to have love. You know? And because that's what I believe in, I started practicing it on myself. Because I understood that I couldn't give other people what I didn't have. So I was pouring from an empty cup.